Fandoms Anonymous.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fandoms Anonymous. Man, we are here today. We're here to review, and I got my notes, man. I got a lot of notes for this review right here, man. We're here to review Adam Sandler's new Netflix movie, Sandy Wexler. Oh my God, this movie was flipping hilarious from beginning to end, but it also was very, very touching towards the end. So let's just get right to it. First of all, let's talk about this Adam Sandler Netflix deal. He originally had an original deal to do 4 movies, and I think the 4th one was The Do-Over, and then that one was hilarious as well. Very, very funny. Very, 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 very funny. So he's just signed a new 4-movie deal that can extend into 2020. So Adam Sandler has found his niche. He's found his niche at Netflix. He's found where he belongs. He's found the place where his movies can get out and people can see them everywhere. He doesn't have to worry about box office flops. Now, I think the movie Pixel might have had a lot to do with that. I enjoyed the movie Pixel, but I think a lot of people, other people did not enjoy it, or they just did not go and see it. But when you're on Netflix, and they'll tell them who's watching it, and then tell them how many people are watching. And these movies on Netflix that Adam Sandler has been putting out have been amazing, because I think it's a divide between, are you going to go to the movies to see an Adam Sandler movie, or do you want to sit on in your living room on a nice, comfortable Sunday like today and watch an Adam Sandler movie? And I think a lot of people are gravitating towards sitting at home and watching a good Adam Sandler movie. So let's get right into it. First of all, Hollywood loves and respects Adam Sandler because the amount of people, and as far as celebrity-wise, that he can get to be in his films is astronomical to me. So let's just go over the cameos and the people we see in this film. Now, these people both have roles in the movie, and they were cameoed as well. If you've seen the movie, of course, this is a spoilers review. This is a spoilers review. We're just going to touch on the people, the stars that were in this movie. We got Chris Rock, Lauren Michaels, Vanilla Ice, Brian McKnight, David Spade, Conan O'Brien, Henry Winkler, Arsenio Hall, Terry Crews, Kevin James, Pauly Shore, Salt and Pepper, Weird Al Yankovic, Clay Aiken, Aaron Neville, Jimmy Kimmel, Jay Leno, John Lovitz, Penn of Penn and Teller, Mike Judge, the creator of King of the Hill and the voices from Beavis and Buttheads. Adam Sandler's kids were in the movie. Rikishi from wrestling. Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. We're going to get to her later. Louis Anderson, Quincy Jones, people from the cast of Saturday Night Live, Dana Carvey, Rod Schneider, and Babyface. And of course, the movie was starring Adam Sandler and Jennifer Hudson. Surprisingly, Jennifer Hudson did very well in this movie. She is a great actor, but I was surprised that she took on a role like this. I think that she thought that it was going to be a very hilarious movie. And like I said, when we get towards the end, we get to the heart where Jennifer Hudson really is good at playing emotion. But you heard all of those names I gave out. Think about all those stars. Now, we also have to include what I call the SNL Rat Pack, or the Sandler Rat Pack, that whenever one of them does the movie, they include the other. So when I call them the New Age Rat Pack, I'm talking about Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider, Chris Rock, Kevin James, and David Spade. Those guys right there. They hang tight together. They support each other and everything that they do. Happy Madison, which is Adam Sandler's company for movies, is doing very well right now with this Netflix series. So let's just get to the synopsis of the movie. We got Sandy Wexler, who is this movie set back in the early 90s. Sandy Wexler, who's this, he's a management for celebrities or for artists or people with talent. So he's managing all type of different people, and one of his pet peeves is he lies. But he tells people what they want to hear, not necessarily what they want to know. And in a sense, it is a lie, but it keeps a lot of the people motivated to continue to do what it is that they want to do. So he had a guy that was a stunt man who was horrible at stunts. And the reason all of his stunts messed up was because every time he tried to do a big stunt, a bird got in his way. He was about to jump 10 trailers on a motorcycle and a bird got in the way. He was about to trapeze across the Hollywood sign on fire to land in the swimming pool, and a bat came and flew, and then the Hollywood sign caught on fire with him falling down. And he had a lady that worked at the at a diner who wanted to be an actor, and he was trying to get her to do things. Towards the end of the movie, he had Terry Crews's character, who was a wrestler, who he was trying to get him branded. And he had a guy that was a ventriloquist, played by Kevin James. I forgot Kevin James out of the list. Let me go back to, let me redo that list. Chris Rock, Rob Schneider, Kevin James, David Spade, and Adam Sandler. Those guys right there. Those guys right there. They all support each other. And you know, the character Sandy Wexler, he was just real charming. He really cared about whoever it was that he was managing. And he could make some phone calls, even though some of the phone calls might have had some crazy background to it. But he could get the job done. And the thing about it was that he cared. Now, the music in this was very good because he found Jennifer Hudson's character. He found her by the name of Courtney Clark. I'm sorry. Courtney Clark was Jennifer Hudson's character, and he found her working at Magic Mountain in the ugly ducking scene at the theme park. And he ended up getting her into music. The music in the movie was pretty good. It was real good. We didn't get a lot of the music in the movie, but for the music that we did get, it was real good music. It was Jennifer Hudson, of course. It was just, of course, the same old crazy Adam Sandler antics, like the all meat Atkins diet, where he was just, if he would eat just a hot dog wing or just a roast beef, or he would just eat meat, period. I thought that was hilarious and crazy. Then let's look at the fact that where Sandy lived. He lived in this big mansion out in the suburbs of California. But the mansion didn't belong to him. He stayed in the Cabana house. It belonged to a guy that was from overseas. I believe it was like Saudi Arabia or India or something like that. And he couldn't get in the pool, number one, and he couldn't go into the big part of the house. I thought that was hilarious. And the guy actually had cameras and intercoms placed around the entire complex or the entire land where the house was, so he could speak up. Like, there was one scene where they were trying to get, where Adam Sandler was outside, and that's something that comes later on to the movie. He piped up. There was another scene where he piped up on the intercom to tell him, like, hey, you would let the people swim in the pool. You weren't supposed to let the people swim in the pool. And I thought that was hilarious. Farouz was awesome. What else about this movie? First of all, let's talk about Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, you're so beautiful. I love me some Jennifer Hudson. Sorry, guys, knocking the mic all out the way. I love me some Jennifer Hudson. I really, really do love me some Jennifer Hudson. She has always been a star to me ever since her time on American Idol and moving into Dreamgirls and moving into her music. She has always been a star to me, and she was just gorgeous throughout this movie. She has this beautiful complexion, this soft face that comes across so easy and so refreshing in everything that she does. Now, while we're on the topic of beauty, there was a character in this movie by the name of Cindy. And if you remember, it was one time Sandy was coming home. He was pulling his driveway, and this lady came out and said, hey, you know, if you ever see the tennis court light on, I might want some company. Now, the thing about Cindy is her husband was sick. He's in a real bad vegetative state. And she wanted some company. And Sandy, he was respectful, so he respected the guy Peter. I think his name was Peter. That was her husband. So we get to one of the scenes, and the tennis court light flashes, and he realizes, oh, okay, well, I'm going on over here and see what's up. So he gets over there. She's all got a negligee on and everything, lingerie. She's all ready for him, and they're getting ready to, get it on in the bed. And they look over, and there's the man laid up to all these monitors, and he's just like, he's just like, no, you're about to do it with my wife. And with Sandy, with the type of respect that he had, he couldn't do it. Now, this Cindy character, I didn't know who she was. I really didn't. And I was meaning to read the credits to make sure I didn't leave out any pertinent names of people that were a part of this movie, or as far as the cameos of all the stars that I named earlier. And I look at Cindy, and next to it was Jane Seymour. I said, oh my God, Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. When did she? Now, first of all, she was already hot. I watched Dr. Quinn back in the day. She was already hot. But man, oh man, did she turn back the hands of time? I was like, Dr. Quinn? My Dr. Quinn medicine woman? Oh man. But I digress. She was nice. Okay. We're gonna keep on moving with that. It was just a really good feel good movie. I mean, when we're getting towards the end, after we go through all the preliminary of, Sandy trying to make, I was about to call her Jennifer Hudson, Sandy trying to make Courtney Clark a star and trying to make her hot or whatnot. And she got to the big time with Capitol Records, and he kind of backed off because the guy character named Bling was like, look, you're holding her back because you're not out there doing the groundwork to make her even better. So we, when it gets to the part where it gets the feels, it starts tugging at your heartstrings. The movie slows down, and not in a negative way, but it gets down to that part where you really see Adam Sandler starting to act even as this character, and we get to where he has true emotional feelings for Courtney Clark. Sandler Wexler he has a love for her. Even though he met her, he helped her become famous. He really does care about her, and she's a celebrity now. She's hot. She's dating all these different guys, including Lenny Kravitz and some other celebrities and whatnot. And he's basically in love with her, if you want to put it like that. So it slows down. There was a scene where Courtney Clark was at this restaurant and she ended up having a little bit too much to drink, and he comes to her rescue and brings her back to his home to take care of her in a sense, and just to be there for her. And I thought that was amazing. You really got to see the emotion that he puts out and in that role. Now, one thing that they highlighted about Sandy, and I can kind of implement with, was that he makes sure everybody else is taken care of even before himself, and that hit home for me. That's I don't necessarily call it a problem, but sometimes we as people, and I know I myself can get to the point where I make sure everybody else is okay, and then I worry about me last or afterwards. And that's sometimes that can be a good trait, sometimes that can be good for you, sometimes that can be detrimental. In this situation, it was a little bit of both for Sandy's character, and how he made the people that he was representing believe that they were somebody, even though they were going to go in the direction they were going to go in. Now, Kevin James' character, he ended up getting him to become a big TV celebrity, and that was hilarious. He even had a heart attack because he was eating all that meat. And he ended up getting sick and had like a wake-up reality call. But for the most part, he was in love with Courtney. And when the movie gets to that, man, this movie turns on the feels big time. It turns on the feels. I mean, make you want to shed a few tears feels. And I just loved it. Then we get to the part that had me thrown off. Jennifer Hudson kissing Adam Sandler. Now, ain't nothing wrong with Adam Sandler. I love me some Jennifer Hudson, but I was like, okay, they went there with this. I didn't see that coming. I didn't even see what was going to happen towards the end. I was figuring out when it was going towards the end. I figured it out as it began to play on. But Courtney Clark and Sandy Wexler end up getting married. Then we found out that it's not legal to get married by a ventriloquist puppet, which was Kevin James' character. He married them with the ventriloquist puppet. So what we're looking at the entire movie, when they're jumping back and forth and talking to these celebrities, like the Jimmy Kimmel and the Chris Rock and David Spade and all of those guys, when they're talking to celebrities, they're actually at the reception for the marriage 20 years later of Sandy and Courtney. And at this time, they've had two beautiful children. And I thought that the movie was, and it got to that point, I was like, wait a minute, this is a very good movie. Like I said, the do-over was hilarious from beginning to end, but this movie right here, it brought a lot of feels, it brought a lot of that vibe of like movies like The Temptations or Dreamgirls, that feel where you're trying to get somebody to develop them to be a celebrity, and I enjoyed it. I think I've gone over all my notes that I've had to say about the movie. Like I said, when you get past all the antics, the Adam Sandler antics that we know and love, this is an amazing movie. I wonder what else he has, because with him signing this deal for Netflix, he's slated all the way up to the year 2024, with movies. And I think, like I said in the beginning, he's found his niche where he belongs with these movies. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Sandy Wexler. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Netflix. And guys, if you don't know who we are, we're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMS ANONYMOUS. We're all over social media. We're on Facebook and our Fandoms Anonymous group. Come join the discussions. We're on the Facebook page, the fan page. Come like the page and check our daily updates. We're also on Twitter at anonymous_fan17, and we're also on Instagram at fandoms_anonymous17. Guys, go check out this Sandy Wexler movie. I loved it. I loved every last bit of it. It was hilarious. Brought the feels, brought the emotion. And as I always say, if there isn't anything else, have a good one.